Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate, I'm from Russia, and today I will read my essay which got me accepted into Emory University. So Emory University is a private university which is located in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is about 20th, 23rd in national ranking. So I was applying regular decision, and that's why I spent lots of time writing my essays, because if you don't have 1,600 on SAT, and if you're not the best student in the world, you should really pay attention to your essays, because they can somehow compensate your other weak spots. So this year Emory University had a couple of questions, so there will be a couple of small, rather short essays. The first question was: which book, character, song, a piece of work, fiction or non-fiction, represents you and why? So in this case we had different opinions with my parents, so my mother told me to write about some book which is really difficult to read, something for really smart people, like Stephen Hawking's book or some other science book. But I decided to write what best represents me, because my approach here was science book doesn't really represent you, because okay, it's a physics book, so how it can represent you? So it is like a book with information. So that's why I decided to choose some fiction book. I think I've read this book about 50 times, and I'm not joking, because when I was a little bit younger I loved this book that much that I've spent a whole month just reading it in my free time. Everyone has their favorite childhood story. Mine is The Pandarix by Jean Berthel. The overall spirit of the book, light-hearted and happy, is how I see the world. The storyline follows three strong heroines, all sisters, each with which I individually connect. The youngest one has a deep connection to animals and nature. The middle writes her own stories, and the oldest is the kindest one. I like her the most. She has her talents and interests, but her pivotal role is one of support and unconditional love for her family. She reminds her sisters to rejoice in small victories, which we often oversee. I see myself in her for our shared commitment to our families, attention to little things, and kindness in how we approach the world. This book embodies my personality all around and is dear to me because of the role it played in my childhood. So that's it, and the word limit was about 150 words. So second question was Emory University's shield is a cross, torch and trumpet representing the light of learning and the proclamation of knowledge. It symbolizes our mission to impact the world through discovery. What truth or knowledge do you want to see shared? So the word limit was also 150 words, so that's not much, but that's why you have to spend lots of time trying to do your best in these small essays. The truth I want to see shared is that a single-viewed approach can be dangerous. It is essential to be a critical thinker when faced with problems. For instance, I'm fluent in 3 languages, and reading different journals in each language, I've noticed that many sources are biased. Different countries have their sides, some even being completely different regarding the same event. It is important to understand where we get facts in today's digital age, and to approach things with healthy skepticism, assessing details of biased truth. It is also important to understand what influences different people to have their views and what informs their thought processes and their resulting truths. Truth is often subjective, but I think with careful thought and diligent research it can be found. So I want to give a couple of comments on my essays. So in my opinion, you do not need to write like the usual phrases. So my first essay, I've already told about it, that I didn't really want to write about some very smart book. Like, I didn't want just to come up with how it represents me. I've really taken the book which I've really liked. And I've explained that it represents me because I'm connecting with characters and like all that stuff. And the second essay was a little bit like, I'm not a political person, in my opinion, especially if you're an international student. There is no need to have too much politics in your essays. It is more like a view of a person who wants to live in our world and who needs to get information from like some sources.
According to my information, it should appear in this quadrant here.
Because we can't like just avoid all the news. So I wrote about a problem which is critically important for me because I was always thinking about my news resources, and finally I found a couple. And yes, I've also written about my own experience of checking, like double-checking these news resources in different languages. So like here I've shared a couple of things which better represent me because I'm fluent in 3 languages. I'm using these languages in my daily life. I have critical thinking, double-checking these resources, and I understand that today like is a digital age, so that's why we have to double check all the information. So like I've also used this concept which is really important today, but I've used it in my own story, not just by writing some abstract essay. And again, like rereading the question of Emory University, like they are talking about this shield and trumpet symbolizing their mission to impact the world through discovery. So basically in this essay I'm like giving my point of view on all of this information. So that shows that I'm connecting my essay not with just the question but with like all the information which was given. So I'm talking about like discovery, about like learning what's going on in the world. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. You can subscribe to my channel in order not to miss next videos where I will read in my other essays that got me into another 7 universities from top 50, including USC, Emory, North Carolina, and etc. Have a good time and see you in the next video.